Now, the first article of the day, it appeared in page 14 of the Hindu newspaper. And this article, it reports that India, it is looking forward to move towards same day settlement of shares. Now, why are we picking this topic? Because GS paper 3, the syllabus, it mentions mobilization of resources. And capital markets, such as share markets, it helps private companies as well as public sector undertakings to mobilize the resources, that is money, from both retail as well as institutional investors. Now, how is the process of share is brought or sold in a share market? For example, if you want to buy a particular share, then you go towards the stock market and then buy this particular share from a seller who is willing to sell his share. Now, this transaction, that is you buying a particular share and the seller selling that particular share, it is transacted through what is called a clearing corporation. Now, for example, if you decide to buy a particular share on the day of Monday, now that particular block of share will be sold by that seller on Monday itself. However, those particular share, they will be credited into your demat account after a period of few days. Earlier, this period of days was 2 days because India, it allowed for settlement of share with the gap of 2 days. Hence, by this example, if you decide to buy a share on Monday, then that particular share will be credited into your demat account only by Wednesday. However, by October 1st of the year 2023, India moved towards a lesser period of settlement, which was T+1 settlement cycle. What this cycle meant? That if you decided to buy a share on Monday, then that particular share will be credited to your demat account by Tuesday itself. Hence, you can see the period of crediting of your share, it was decreased by 1 day through this T+1 settlement cycle. Now, the share market, that is India's regulator, that is Securities Exchange Board of India, it is proposing that India should move towards this T+0 settlement cycle. And as per this particular settlement cycle, if you decide to buy a share on Monday, it will be credited, those share will be credited to your demat account by Monday itself. Now, what are the implications of this move on both retail as well as institutions? First of all, if you decide to share on a particular day, and if you get the money of those shares on that day itself, it will encourage you to further invest in the stock market on that day itself. Hence, it will mean that the volumes of share sale in the cash segment, it will automatically increase. Further, brokerages which are involved in the share market transaction, they also undertake few risk management practices in case a particular buyer defaults. However, when this particular time period of share settlement, it is reduced to a minimum of 0 days, it will reduce the risk management practices that these brokerages have to be involved in. Further, these clearing corporations, they are responsible for deducting the shares from the seller's account and crediting these particular shares in the buyer's account. Hence, the unsettled trade exposures, particularly in T+2 settlement cycle, it was of 2 days. However, when you have decreased this settlement cycle to just same day, this will reduce the amount of unsettled trade exposures that are there with clearing corporations. Now, after we have dealt somehow the process of buying and selling of shares, let us now discuss the model question. Now, why are we particularly dealing with this kind of model question? It is because UPSC in the year of 2023 itself, it asked a question related to capital markets, which are government bond market and stock market. Hence, the correct answer to this PYQ was option B. Now, let us move to the model question, which asks us, with reference to capital markets, consider the following statements. The first statement, it says that the trade settlement refers to the official transfer of shares from clearing corporation's account to that of buyer's account. Now that we have already understood that this process of share selling, it is there from sellers to buyer's account, and the clearing corporations, they are only responsible for settling of shares. Hence, the trade settlement, it is official transfer of shares from sellers to buyer's account and not that clearing corporation's account. Hence, the first statement is incorrect. Now let us move to the second statement, which says that the reducing the time taken for settlement cycle will increase the unsettled trade exposure of clearing corporations. Again, this statement is also incorrect because reducing the time taken for settlement will also reduce and not increase the unsettled trade exposures. Hence, both of these above statements are incorrect, which makes our option D the correct answer. Now, with this, let us move to the second article of the day, which appeared in the on the world page of the Indian Express newspaper. Now, in this article, the news article, it highlights that the United Kingdom has agreed to pay some additional amount to the country of Rwanda, because this particular country, it is inviting illegal migrants from United Kingdom. Now, why are we dealing with this particular question? Because this news article has been in news for quite some time, and also UPSC asks few questions related to borders of countries which are in news. Now let us understand, where is this Rwanda located? Now, as you can see from this map, Rwanda is a landlocked country which is located in the Great Rift Valley of the Central Africa. Now it is located few degrees south of the equator, and it is bordered by Uganda in its northern side as well as Tanzania in its eastern side. Whereas Rwanda, it is bordered by Burundi in its western side, in its southern side, whereas it is bordered by Democratic Republic of Congo in its western side. Hence, Uganda, Tanzania, Burundi as well as Democratic Republic of Congo are its neighboring countries. Now with this, let us solve the model question. Now, which of the following countries borders Rwanda? From this above discussion, we can conclude that Burundi as well as Uganda are bordered by Rwanda. Hence, option C is the correct answer. Whereas the answer to this PYQ, which asks the question related to which of the following is a part of Congo Basin, its answer is A, Cameroon. Now with this, let us move to the third article of the day, which appeared in the explain section of the Indian Express. Now in this article, the scientists, they have trying to reintroduce this extinct species of Dodo. Now why are we dealing with this particular news article? Because UPSC in the past have asked questions related to species which are in news. Hence, let us know more about what is this Dodo species. Now this Dodo, as even the news article highlights, it is an extinct species. Hence the status of this species as per IUCN is that of extinct. Now this species, it had grey feathers, whereas it also had soft white colored tail. However, the feathers of this bird were small, hence it was not able to lift this bird, thereby making this kind of a bird flightless in nature. Further, the lifespan of Dodo was that of 10 to 30 years. And this species, it also had a yellow colored legs. Now, the closest relative of this particular species is Nicobar pigeon, which also lives on the ground as it is unable to fly. Now, this particular species, that is Dodo, it was endemic to the island of Mauritius. Now, it was initially believed that the human actions, such as overhunting, it was responsible for extinction of this particular species. However, recent researchers, they have highlighted that combination of human actions in addition to introduction of wild animals such as dogs and macaques have been responsible for habitat destruction as well as loss of its nesting ground. Now that we know more about this species, let us now solve the model question. With reference to dodo bird, sometimes seen in the news, consider the following statements. The first statement, it is a flightless bird with grey feathers, which we know from our discussion is a correct statement. Whereas the second statement, it says that this species is endemic to India, which is an incorrect statement because this species is endemic to Mauritius. Now, the third statement, it says that it is listed as a critically endangered species on the IUCN's red list. Now, as we know that this species is extinct and not in currently endangered, hence making this third statement also incorrect. Now, how many of the given above statements are correct? From which we can deduce that only one statement is correct. Thereby, option A was the right answer. Whereas answer to this Sanders question was also option A.